7.2, simplifying expressions. Now, several things that we need to discuss and get down here. First is constant term. Okay? We're going to talk about simplifying expressions that have, for example, you're used to 3 plus 4 times 9 minus 5, and then we tell you to simplify it. Okay? What we're going to simplify today is expressions that have constant terms, which a constant term is just a number. Okay? A constant term is any number. All right? Any number, let's say any number by itself. Okay? And that's what you're used to having. Like I said, 3 plus 4 times 9 minus 5. That's what you're used to seeing, and then we say simplify. Okay? Well, today you're going to have something that looks like this. Okay? You're going to have a variable expression that has some terms that are the same, some terms that are not the same, some constant terms, some coefficient terms, a lot of different words that we use for terms. Okay? We said that a constant term is a number by itself. So, in this problem right here, what is the constant term? 4. Okay? This would be the constant. Okay? The 7 and the 5 are what we call coefficients. Okay? A coefficient is a number that is in front of a variable. Okay, and we call that a coefficient. Okay, coefficient is a number that's in front of a variable. All right, now, in this problem, the 7x and the 5x are called like terms. Like terms are terms that have identical variable parts. In other words, the variable is exactly the same. Okay? So we have constant terms, coefficient, and like terms. Okay? Those are the 3 of the main things we have to understand, be able to do what we've got to do today. All right, now, step 1 in simplifying expressions. Step 1 is to change all subtraction to addition. Okay? So, for example, in the problem I wrote just a second ago, 7x plus 4 minus 5x. Step 1 would be to do this. 7x plus 4, change that to addition, do the opposite of 5x, which is negative 5x. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2. Arrange the terms Arrange the terms in the expression where like terms are together. So in the expression, 7x plus 4 plus negative 5x. In that expression, what terms are like terms? In other words, what terms have exactly the same variable? Emma? Right. 7x and negative 5x are the like terms. So I want to rearrange the problem using the commutative property of addition, and I'm going to put 7x plus negative 5x plus 4. So I just use the commutative property. The commutative property of addition. Commutative property of addition says that we can take terms, rearrange them, and everything's okay. Okay? That's step 2. Okay? Step 3. So that's what we did for step 2. Step 1. Here's what we did for step 2. Step 3 is to combine like terms or constants by using the rules for adding integers. So in other words, all the stuff we learned in Chapter 6 is going to have to be applied here. Okay? So I take my problem, 7x plus negative 5x plus 4. And I can put 7x plus negative 5x together. All you really have is 7 plus negative 5. What is 7 plus negative 5? True. 2. So 7 plus negative 5 is 2, and then I put my x back with it. And that's 2x plus 4. Now, are there any other constant terms besides 4? I can only put constant terms together with other constant terms. Okay? So therefore, 2x plus 4 is my answer. That is the simplified version of our original problem, 7x plus 4 minus 5x. Okay, I can't go any further. Now, here's where a lot of people make mistakes. They want to take 2x plus 4 and say that it's 6x. They want to put the 4 and the 2 together. You can't do that. Okay? You can't say that this is 6x. It would be like this. This problem right here is basically this. X plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay? When you look at it like that, is there any way I can say I've got 6 x's in that problem? No. Okay? So you can't put those two things together. It would be like this. Me having 2 apples and 4 oranges and putting them together and say I have 6 oranges. Or 6 apples. Can't do that. Okay? They're not the same. You can't put them together. You can only put constant terms with constant terms. Okay? You can only add or subtract coefficients that have the same variable. Okay? Now, that's how we simplify. Okay, I want to look at another problem. $4K minus 10 plus 7 minus 7K. Okay, 4K minus 10 plus 7 minus 7K. Okay, so what's the first step? What's step 1? Step 1 is to change all subtraction to addition. So that means 4K, change that to addition, do the opposite of 10, which is negative 10, plus 7, change that to addition, do the opposite of 7K, which is negative 7K. That's step 1. What is step 2? Not everybody at once. What's step 2? Okay, so I'm going to rearrange it to where I put my like terms together. So step 2 is all about like terms. Okay, well, I want you to list the like terms in this problem. What are the like terms in 4K plus negative 10 plus 7 plus negative 7K? What's one pair of like terms? Celine? Do what? No, those aren't like. Those are not the same. Emma? For what? Yes. 4K and negative 7K are one pair of like terms. Why are they alike, Xander? What makes a like term? Read me your definition of like term. Variable parts, not vertical or vertebrae. Okay, variable parts. Okay, so you might want to write that word a little clearer so you know what it means. So, they have variable parts. Now, we also said there's another thing that are always like terms. What are those in this problem? What? Constants. So what are the constants in this problem? What are the constant terms in this problem? Negative 10 and 7. So those are also like terms. So I want to rearrange this problem where 4k and negative 7k are close together, negative 10 and 7 are close together. So when I do that, I get 4k plus negative 7k plus negative 10 plus 7. So that's step 2. Rearranging it using the commutative property where the like terms are closer together. Okay? What is step 3? Combine the like terms by what? Yeah, by using the rules for adding integers. So, I can combine these two together, and I can combine these two together. Okay? This is 4 plus negative 7. What is 4 plus negative 7? Negative 3. So that is negative 3k plus, what is negative 10 plus 7? Negative 3. Okay, so I have negative 3k plus negative 3. Now, here's where some people make another mistake. Well, I have a negative 3 and a negative 3. That means I can put it together. Nope. You have negative 3k and negative 3. It would be like this. Let me show you an example of this. This would be like negative 3 times 4 plus negative 3. Okay? So if you have negative 3 times 4 plus negative 3, would you put that together and say you have negative 6 times 4? No. Then why do you do it just because I put a k in there instead of a 4? Well, don't do that. Yeah, you will. You'll do it once or twice. Everybody does. Regardless of how smart, you will do it. It'll be a careless mistake, but you'll do it. Most of the time, unfortunately, it happens on test. When you tell me, oh, that's negative 6k. What? That'd be like negative 6 times 4. Obviously, you know not to do that. Obviously, you would take negative 3 times 4 and then add negative 3 to it. But we don't know what k represents in this problem. We just know it's k. Okay? Okay? Now, here's the other issue. This is an answer, but it's not the one I want. The one I want is this. Because the plus and negative right here is the same thing as a subtraction sign. Because what do we do if I have this, let's say I have 4 minus 3. What do I do? 4, change that to addition, do the opposite of 3, which is negative 3. So this right here is the same thing as that. They're interchangeable. Now, I'm not going to count it wrong if you put negative 3k plus negative 3, but your grader is. And then I'm going to have to correct it, and I'll say, no, it's not wrong, because it's not mathematically wrong. It's just not the acceptable way to write the answer. Okay, and the quicker that you can understand that this problem, negative 3k plus negative 3, is the same thing as negative 3k minus 3, you'll be a lot better off. Okay? Not the k that's in there, but okay. See, if y'all were texting each other, you would say negative 3 is okay with negative 3. Because that's what you use for okay is the word K, or the letter K. Right? You don't say okay, you just say K. Okay, because we're too lazy to type the O. We're too lazy in a two-letter word to write one of the letters. I'm surprised y'all have not come up with that means okay. So you don't have to type either letter. Okay. All right. Now, let's get to the other thing that we have to do with these problems. Let's look at this problem. 3x plus 4 minus x. Now, the other thing we need to talk about is this. What is the number in front of any variable that doesn't have a number in front of it? What do we assume that's there? Okay. How many x's do I have right there? 1. So this is really 3x plus 4 minus 1x. You have to remember that there is a 1 in front of every variable that doesn't have any other numbers in front of it. There's always a 1 because I have 1x. Okay? That is what you're going to end up missing on what we're fixing to do now. Okay? In a section of this work, they want you to take the problem and they want you to identify first the coefficients. Okay? What are the coefficients in this problem? 3x plus 4 minus 1x. What is the coefficients in this problem? No, coefficients. What is the definition of what is the coefficient definition? A number that's in front of the variable. Okay? So what are the numbers in front of these variables? 3 and 1, and you just missed one of them. No. The reason you missed it is because of this. This is 3x plus 4. Change that to addition. Do the opposite of that, which is negative 1x. So now, what are the coefficients in this problem? 3 and negative 1. That's the coefficients in this problem. So that's step 1 of the directions. The second thing is they want to know the constant terms. What is the constant term or terms in this problem? 4. So that's the answer to the second part. The third part, they want to know the like terms of the problem. So what are the like terms of this problem? In other words, what are the terms that you would be able to put together? Celine. Yes, 3x and negative 1x. Okay, and that's your 3 answers to this problem. Okay, because it tells you in the directions, identify the coefficient, the constant terms, and the like terms. Okay, now, I'm going to give you another problem, and I want you to do this one on your own. 10 minus 4y plus 5y minus 8. I want you to identify 1, the coefficients, 2, the constant, and 3, the like terms. But even in this process where you're identifying things, you must still, the first step's always got to be change subtraction to addition. That's always got to be the first step, whether you're simplifying it or you're just identifying parts to the problem. By the way, that was problem 6, and this is problem 7, I think. Yep. Okay, who has an answer for me? What are the coefficients? Anthony. Okay, that's correct in the sense of that's the correct terms, but don't include the y. So the actual coefficient is -4 and 5. Okay, so yes, those it's correct, but in this part, the coefficient is the number in front of that variable. So don't include the variable in your answer, but -4 and 5. What are the constant terms, Owen? 10 and what? No. Nick?
10 and -8.
Thank you. 10 and -8. Okay. Like terms, Noah? What? Like terms, -4.
Oh, -4y.
Yes, -4y and 5y. What else? That's not the only like terms. Grant. Do what? Yes. 10 and -8 are the other like terms. Okay? And so those are your answers to problem number 7. Okay? Celine? How would 10? Because 10 is a constant term. In other words, first thing you had to do is this. Stay seated. That's the first thing that you had to do. Now, the constants, this is a constant and that's a constant. So constant terms you can put together. So that's why they're like terms, because you can put 10 and -8 together. And that's why they're like terms. Now, your homework, we're dividing this up into 2 days. We're going to do 7.2, 2 through 14. Okay? 6, 7, and 8, you've got to do like we did 6 and 7. Okay? You may go.